How's it going, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install Zippy mods for the Balis Nakiri. The mods consist of spacer weights, blade inserts, and these optional handle inlays. You can see I've already done one of the handles myself and one of the inserts myself. And let's go ahead and do the rest of it together to make this install as easy as possible. Because the blade inserts come free with every order, I'm going to start with those. So I'm just going to hold on to them for dear life, and then I'm going to use my thumb and just pop them in. You can pop them in from either side. Just note that the two sides have different surface finishes. So when you're popping them in, just pay attention to which surface finish is on which side so it all matches. Anyways, you can see it's a little bit recessed on this side, so I'm going to take this 1.5 millimeter Allen key and just push the insert through a bit till it pops out, and then I'm going to use my finger to just press it down. And if there's any strings, you can just get rid of those with a fingernail. So you can see it'll be slightly recessed on both sides, but not poking up above the surface of the blade. All right, let's go ahead and do the other two. This is simple. I'm really just popping them in, lining up the hole and pushing. Now I'm going to slide them through the other side and then tamp them down with my finger. Boom, done. All right, you've just installed the blade inserts. Let's go ahead and do the spacers. You can see I've already installed one of the spacers myself. One thing to note, the spacers come in two different variants. A spacer variant that has jimping, which follows the jimping of the handles, and another spacer variant which is flat. And the flat spacer variant allows you to change the look of the spacer by using either a holographic finish, shown here, or a textured finish. So the choice is purely aesthetic. What I'm going to show you on the spacers, though, the objective of these spacers is not actually cosmetic, it's weight. So to begin with, I'm going to remove the stock lightweight spacer so I can compare the weights directly and show you why I recommend the Zippy spacers. So an empty Zippy spacer weighs 0.019, 0.018-ish, and you can hold up to 2 weights. Let's go ahead and weigh it with 1 weight. I like to pop in the weights with a tip of a clicky pen, but you could just push it against the surface of a table. With 1 weight, it brings it up to 0.038. 2 weights, 0.058. And then that puts it at just about half the weight of the stock lightest spacer, which is 0.1, and considerably less than the stock heavy spacer, 0.167 ounces. I find this is extremely heavy handle bias, and this is still heavy handle bias. So the nice thing about the Zippy spacers is you get 3 different balance configurations in between having the handles empty, which is blade biased, and having this very handle biased stock weight. So you can have no weights, 1 weight, or 2 weights. And all 3 of those configurations are going to be somewhere between neutral to slightly handle biased, and considerably less than even the stock spacer. That's the light one. So I'm gonna just show you real quick what the different spacers look like. This is what, did I just put it in upside down? Yes, I did. Don't do what I just did. So this is what the Zippy spacer looks like with a flat surface and a textured finish. For comparison, this is the jimping surface. And here's what the Zippy spacer looks like with the flat surface and holographic finish. So whether you choose the jimping or the flat, kind of just comes down to your personal preference of the aesthetics. But if your objective was simply to put in the Zippy spacer and not the handle inlay, you could pop in as many or as few weights as you want and then install it. This is a very simple procedure because you don't actually need to touch the pivots to change out the spacers. And boom. If your objective was purely to change out the spacers, you've accomplished that. But in this video, I'm also going to show you how to install the handle inlays. So let's do that. For this procedure, we will touch the pivots, and we're going to unscrew the pivot, and this one's a bit tight, so I'm going to take a beefier driver so I don't strip any screws. All right, now I'm going to very gently take off the handle slab. If your blade is sharpened, I highly recommend you tape the blade during this procedure. This blade is not sharp, which is why my blade is not taped. All right, I've got the slab off. First up, here are the handle inlays. There's this open side and the smooth side. In this case, it's the holographic finish. Your inlays may be either textured or holographic, depending on which finish you select. And with the textured or holographic side facing down, I'm just going to pop in this corner of the inlay. Please note that there is a taper to these handles and the cutouts, so you're going to want to align them properly. The thinner side facing towards the pivots, and it does get thicker towards the end of the handles. So I've just popped in both edges here, and now I'm going to use my finger to just push in the rest of the inlay, paying particular attention to the edges here. Sometimes you might miss a spot, but I'm just gonna run my fingers like that. Oops, sorry. And that one's done. Let's go ahead and do the other one. For this one, I'm not even gonna take the slab away from the balisong. I don't really want to mess with the blade and the bushings. So I'm just going to pop it in like this with the holographic or textured side facing down. And I'm just gently pushing in the inlay here. And then I'm just going to smooth it out. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and replace that top slab. I'm not going to fully tighten down this pivot until I know that the handle slabs are fully aligned. So what I'm going to do is install the spacer. Replace the sex bolt, pop it through, and we'll screw that down. Now I'm going to tighten the pivot. All right. There you go. You've just successfully installed Zippy handle inlays, spacer weights, and blade inserts for the BA Balis Nakiri. Thanks for watching, guys.